video here on why I prefer the Leica SL3 over the Leica Q3. So as you can see, these two cameras are almost the same size. And this is where I think Leica has let the Q line run a little bit too long without significant changes. This is supposed to be their compact, everyday carry travel camera, but again, it's the same size as the SL3, give or take. It's also about the same size as Leica's other system full frame set of cameras, the M series of cameras. So with the popularity of the Fuji X100 series and the Ricoh GR series, this feels more like a system camera than a compact, portable, everyday carry, point and shoot type camera. And I think that's sort of where my problem with it lies, is that because this camera is this size, and don't get me wrong, it's a totally professional camera, unlike the X100 series and the GR, which are really more kind of fun, out with your friends, maybe street shooting tools. And I guess you could get professional results from them, but they're not really made for professional use. Whereas this could totally be used as a professional tool in a professional setting. But it still has a fixed focal length, and it still has the lens glued to the front of it like the X100 and GR series. And for me, that's the main problem. I do not like this 28mm focal length. It's wide enough that it distorts, especially if you tip the camera even a little bit. You have to get very close for portraits, but then you still have to get kind of far away to do really wide angle fun shots. So even though this camera has a 28mm focal length, which is not my favorite, I would much rather have a 35mm focal length lens glued to the camera. Another issue with this camera is it has no joystick. The SL3 has a very nice joystick. The SL3 has dials. I really enjoy the tactile experience of the Q3, but the SL3 paired with a lens with an aperture ring actually does it one better with two dials rather than one. They both have flip screens. All the SL3s is a little bit better. The screens are also better on the SL3. Both the viewfinder and the back screen are larger, and to my eye at least, brighter. I know that the viewfinders are the same resolution, and I think the screens are pretty close. But because they're bigger, and I think they're probably better quality glass and screens in this, this is a much more enjoyable experience. Once you've looked through this viewfinder, this guy seems very tiny and almost like, Sony A7CR like. Not quite that bad, but you know what I mean. It's just rough to go to this experience when you've had this one in terms of the EVF. This only has one card slot. This has two card slots. You have to buy the grip to put on this. This comes with the grip built in. You also have to buy a thumb grip to make this camera nice to hold. So you don't need a thumb grip with the SL3. They use the same battery, so that's a wash. This has real image stabilization. That's especially helpful in video, once this learns how to focus in video. This only has optical stabilization, i.e. in the lens. Obviously, it goes without saying this is an interchangeable lens camera, so I can put like a 24, like I have on here now, which again is basically the same size as the Q3 with a better focal length. Sigma also makes the 35mm that's not much bigger than this that you can put on there. So you could have a 24 and a 35 in basically the same package that's more ergonomic with another little screen too, I forgot to mention. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's so much more versatile. I will gladly spend $1,000 more to get versatility. So in summary, the 28mm focal length, the lack of a joystick, and the overall size of this package, more of a system camera than a compact camera now, makes me want to sell this. This is going up for sale. DM me if you're interested. I'll sell it to you for what I paid for it plus tax. No fees or markup or anything like that. I just want to sell it quick and recoup the money to buy more lenses for the SL3 maybe. I also have another medium format rant video coming out. And I plan to do a Q3 versus X106 video before I sell this guy. And it's a sweet little macro feature. So I'll put that out also. Some more content about this, but a few more thoughts are, I think maybe part of what frustrates me about this camera is kind of similar to the ZF. It's like, it's so close to being a perfect camera. if these camera manufacturers would just watch one or two of my YouTube videos, or like so many other camera reviewers' videos, they would know to do this stuff. I feel like this stuff should be obvious by now. So for this one, like I actually like the form factor of this camera better than the SL3. I would love an M size camera with an EVF in it, with a flip screen also. Like that is just ideal. But for that dream camera to exist, Leica needs to let me take this lens off of this camera. Give me a 24 so I can do really cool wide angle distorty shots. Or give me a 35 so I can have sort of a wide angle but very utilitarian without distortion. I would even take a 50, just the standard, beginner's focal length over a 28. Like, I know there's some old school street shooters that like bow at the altar of 28 millimeters, but for everybody else, I think this was a pretty poor choice for a focal length. I live in Texas. Stuff is far apart. So I think that Leica can take one of two tacks here. Either they can make a true compact, pocketable everyday carry camera and sort of scrap this, or turn this into a system camera that would fit nicely between a compact camera, like let's say bring back the CL2, anybody? And the SL line and the M line, right? Make it a little bit cheaper, a little bit smaller, more compact, kind of more like an M body, but then give me interchangeable lenses. I don't even care if it's the M lenses you put on here. Even cooler if you can make autofocus lenses like this, but I would take the M lenses. That's fine with me, But interchangeable lenses, put a joystick on it and improve the viewfinder, and boom, you've got a winning combination. I mean, maybe put an ISO dial up here too. But I mean, that's definitely in perfect camera territory. So Leica, come out with whatever it is, the R, I don't know, what would it be? The TL? The EMVF? MEVF? MIV? Come up with an interchangeable version of this with a joystick, and man, I assure you, you will have a winner on your hands. So in the meantime, let me know if you want this guy. We're putting it up for sale. Let me know your thoughts between these two cameras. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And there's a reason that I don't have an X106 in hand right now. I sold the one I bought originally on launch day, and I think you can probably guess what I'm buying with those proceeds. So more on that in a future video once the new arrives here.